Travis Wayne Goodsill. Man, we were down to freezing temperatures this morning for my run. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Microsoft Edge is taking its time so I can give you the actual temperature. Might have been faster to go to Google, who's being accused of being a monopoly. $32. Yep, right at freezing temperature. Alright. So, notice, I've been telling you from the beginning when Trump was holding rallies, calling the virus a hoax, and then it enters America from the cruise liner, and then all of a sudden we're getting these airborne transmission cases in the United States. And I was telling you, there's no way Trump was going to be hanging out with people without a mask unless he has the vaccine. And all these months go by, and then, oops, Hope Hicks got it. Oh man, now what does he do? If he's got the vaccine, he's going to be exposed. He has no choice but to claim an appearance of getting sick himself. And so, yeah, we have this whole deal about him going to Walter Reed Hospital, and apparently he's telling the doctors not to reveal what's going on. But yet the doctors reveal that they're giving him steroids and Spiritron whatever. And then decides to come home early after already going out on a 3-hour tour of the neighborhood with the Secret Service, getting them in danger. And his immortal return to the White House, where he pretends to have a breathing problem. Because remember, the consequences now. And so everybody's freaking out in the press. Oh my God, Trump is a horrible human being. He's exposing everybody to the virus, and he defiantly takes off his mask. And look at him, he's having trouble breathing. And oh, now and yet he's doing videos where he's not coughing. He's not having breathing problems. But then he goes on to Sean Hannity on the phone and and then all of a sudden he's immune. He's going right back on the campaign trail, doing rallies, and he's fine. I feel better than ever. I'm immune. Whatever they gave me, I'm immune. We have the greatest doctors in the world, and you don't have access to them as citizens. Only I, the president. I'm immune. Isn't it great? It's a miracle. And now, he's calling it a cure. He's not calling it immune anymore. Did you catch what he has done? I told you guys to watch for this. And I'm sorry, Rachel. I'm going to have to email you and chastise you for this. I've been telling them to pay attention, to ask if he has the vaccine. And nobody will ask him until I was hoping last night. is it Kirsten Welker? Is that the name? Trump says he's cured. And she's then saying, did you just say you're cured? Is it because of the drug? And she names that Resputatran, Tran. And he then looks at her like, huh? Yeah, that one. She gave him an excuse to divert from the question. That so frustrated me. No, don't give him an out. Hold him to it. Put his balls to the wall, man. Except, and she didn't do it, and so he got away with it again. And then Rachel at the end of the show, at the end of the debate, I need to clarify something that's very dangerous to the American people. When Trump said he was cured, there are no vaccines. Yes, for we the people. So frustrating. That could have been handled so much better. He could have been exposed. And they didn't do it. They gave him an out. But I told you, you don't have a germaphobe going out into public during a viral pandemic. It just doesn't happen. If he truly is a germaphobe, he's going to be freaking out and paranoid about leaving his room at the White House. He's never going to want to meet with anybody. He's going to ban everyone from his presence. That is not the behavior of a germaphobe. So either he's not a germaphobe, but we have plenty of evidence that he is a germaphobe, as people throughout his life have confirmed over and over and over and over again. He's a germaphobe. He gets overly paranoid, gets very demanding that people stay away from him. You know, the ABC News interview in the White House, in the Oval Office, Mick Mulvaney's there in the background. He coughs. Trump says, no, get him out of here. Reshoot that. And it's all on tape for all of us to see. The press knows this. God. And so we're getting all punked. So anyway, the church stuff. So yes, pay attention. The church is just better at keeping things a secret. But I'm the one who exposed the church for their little quid pro quo with China, Shanghai, China. Because on January 29th, Nelson releases to the press that, oh yeah, I called them and I said, hey, how serious is this? Oh, do you need some PPE? We'll donate some to you. Well, yeah, okay, whatever. If you're going to give free stuff, sure. And so he goes publicly with, I'm great and mighty and powerful. I've given PPE to China to show you how beneficial the church is to China and the concerns of China. Well, we've never given any to the United States and Utah and Mormons, by the way. But nonetheless, we then, which one was first? Was it conference or was it, no, it was conference first. And so in conference, Nelson again reminds all of us how great and good he is to China, to Shanghai, and then announces a temple in China. And so then you have Governor Herbert, who comes out and announces, or is exposed. You know, they had ordered PPE from where? Shanghai, China? Why are we ordering from them? They were the ones in desperate need of donations of PPE, weren't they? Why are we purchasing from them? And so, yeah, but even though it made it to Utah airports and the news was covering it, it got confiscated by the federal government, by Jared. And so they had to find another place to purchase PPE from. And it was several days later. And then they get out and announce that oh yeah, our PPE was stolen from us, but we were able to get some new PPE, and it was dropped off at the border of Wyoming. God. And nobody makes the connection to the church through China. They laundered PPE. Unbelievable. So, yeah, Judge Jenkins, again, has not recused himself. He is gone silent. He's refusing to do anything. And so, yeah, I'm going to have to do another brief today. And call him out and remind him Russia is watching. Because, remember the whole, and a temple in a major city yet to be determined in Russia. I knew what that meant, and nobody else did. I'm the one who's uncovered this plot with Russia. You don't do business with Russia because they always get you criminally indictable. That's called compromat. Makes you compromised. The church is compromised. He is not acting under his own revelation from God. He's acting under orders of Putin. That's why he took away the high priesthood. Do you not understand this? This is why he stopped the home teaching program, which has been touted for decades as the bestest system ever. And not just for spreading the gospel message to all the families. It was a communication tool during times of emergency, so that a chain of communication could go back to the bishop, so that he can know how his ward is doing during a crisis situation. And here we are. It's a rainy day. It's flooding. And no home teaching communication tool. Everything is chaos in the church, as Nelson is refusing to shut it down now. He was late in shutting it down in the beginning, and then they opened up. They are purposely destroying America by trying to kill off and infecting as many of you as they can, in conspiracy with Governor Herbert, in conspiracy with Trump. You know, they're calling it herd immunity. This is where there's a number of people that will die, and they don't care. They're purposely infecting every one of us so that we will die, so that we will be compromised, needing a vaccine, which we now have evidence that Trump has it. And the press botched it. We're supposed to be able to rely on the press. and they failed us also. And so, yes, all in conspiracy with Russia. What does Russia want to do? They want to destroy America. Putin blames America. All the way back to when Romney ran for president. He blames America. And who's behind QAnon, you ask? Because I know you're asking, right? How does I change the subject? Not really. Russia's behind QAnon. And how is this misinformation and disinformation? Not just because they're lying, that Tom Hanks is some pedophile satanic alien who drinks the blood of babies. But those three categories I've told you about, aliens from outer space, satanic, and pedophiliac. What is the church guilty of? They claim that we're from near the Kolob, outer space. The Boy Scouts of America have 300 cases that were before the church and the Boy Scouts. And what does the church do? Oh, yeah, we're quitting the Boy Scouts. We're going to do our own program. Oh? Oh, you're just going to quit the Boy Scouts now that there's all these people claiming of pedophilia. Even Nelson's child, one of his daughters, her and her husband back in the 80s are accused of satanic pedophilia rituals in their home in Bountiful. You can look on Nelson's website, Wikipedia page, down in controversies at the end. There it's listed. And so where do we get Satanism from? It's the Church of Jesus Christ, Travis. And what have I been pointing out over and over again? The inverted pentagram of Lucifer. God. And so this is how Russia works. See, it's not just a diversionary tactic, lying to we the people, going after these wrong things, getting people in a frenzy so that they go bust in a pizza parlor looking for a basement that doesn't exist with an AK-47 or some other weapon, going around shooting people because he's been brainwashed by this QAnon group, funded by Russia, supported and backed by Russia. You know, it's not a diversion away from Trump, who's, yeah, he's creepy pedophilia with Jeffrey Epstein and his own Miss America pageants and his daughter. You know, Joy Reid again reminded everybody about that last night. But the church fits all three. This is how they work and operate. And so if the church does not comply with Russia, guess what QAnon's gonna do? Ding. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the satanic pedophilia aliens. It's all they have to do to make sure that the church is kept in line. That's why QAnon is so prevalent. Is so that the church can be reminded over and over and over again, we have the dirt on you, church. For right now, we're diverting it away from you. This is how compromat works. This is why I'm surprised nothing new happened in October conference, other than, you know, Oaks condemning the Black Lives Matter protesters. Man, he really pissed me off on that talk. He pisses me off on all his talks. The guy is just a man of hate, a vessel of hate. He is Nazi. Literally. I caught him in the sign to the Aaronic priesthood at the end of the conference back in the day. And exposed him on my older channel. But, yeah, Mormonism and the swastika, guys. The church has a long history of working with Nazis. And so it's not supposed to surprise anybody that Nelson cares more about making money, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna flee or preparing to flee if Trump can't get away with winning the election. But yeah, I'm expecting them to abandon the church, and thus abandon Mormons, and take the money and run. But yeah, you just don't do this if you're the true Church of God, inspired and led by God himself. This is not how it works. You know, you don't call wickedness righteousness. You know, that whole Isaiah thing, calling good evil and evil good. Oh no, Travis, it's you. You're calling the church evil when the church is good. Brigham Young did nothing wrong. Des Nat just wants to make sure everybody is forced in their agency to follow the prophets. That's all. They're good. You're an anti-Mormon, which we're going to change the definition of anti on Wikipedia to mean that you're hostile towards us and that you want to cause us harm. As what you're trying to do. God, we are in a crisis. We're getting our butts kicked. So, yeah, I'll do the brief and try to at least make public, even though Jenkins will just continue to go silent. God. Alright, so let's get going.